Good morning. Good morning. This is Dr. Yonette. I can't believe we've been together for a whole week already. How has things been? How is your baby doing? You are probably overjoyed and excited by the growth that you're seeing in your baby. And today I want us just to do a week in review. Let's review what we've been talking about. And as I review, I want to play this music in the background. Hopefully you can hear it. This is the Baby Einstein music that we played a lot for our son. This is Baby Mozart. And I want you to just think about, oh my goodness, those happy, pleasant, joyful moments that you've been experiencing with your baby. And I want you to share. So today we are just recapping. How are your fine motor skills, your baby's fine motor skills developing? How are the gross motor skills, the cognitive skills, the sensory skills, the language communication skills? How are those aspects of your baby, the social emotional skills developing? I know you have downloaded the app from the CDC, and you are working hand in hand with your child and your spouse and helping your baby to develop well. So let's do a little bit of show and tell this morning. I wanted to show you a couple of things, and please feel free to get online. First, subscribe or join my Facebook page, Skincare Explosion with Dr. Yonette, and then send me your pictures and your videos of the things that are happening in your baby's life. So I was talking about some show and tell. Now, this piece of fabric is what we put under our son when he was a baby. You know how sometimes if your baby wets and the moisture can seep out? Well, this was like a little pad under him so that he doesn't wet the material, the crib, the bed under him. And I still have this 17 years ago, almost 18 years. What about the suction? Yes, when baby gets stiff, stuffy nose, and at that age your baby's not able to blowing develops later on in life. So your baby's not able to blow their nose, so you use the suction. And I still have that suction from way back when. We got this from the hospital when our child was born. The hospital was Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston. And then we also talked about having a mobile. This was a part of the mobile setup for my son. I know I said that little babies need cooler colors like blue and green, light green, and those colors. But even though this is not a cool color, you can hear the sound. So when he woke up in the morning and we hear that sound, we knew he was up, because he would be moving and this would shake and make the sound, and he would have something to entertain him while he waits for us to come and pick him up, because we didn't always just rush to his room as soon as we heard this. And then one of my favorite things to do that I've always been talking to you, that I've been talking to you about from day one, is reading. And this is one of the books. This is one of the books that I read a lot. And I would love for you to let me be your baby's reader this morning. Even though it's morning, I'm still going to read it and give you an opportunity to see what this book is like and how it can be appropriate for your baby. In the great green room, there was a telephone and a red balloon and a picture of the cow jumping over the moon. And they were three little bears sitting on chairs. And the two little kittens and a pair of mittens, and a little toy house, and a young mouse. And a comb and a brush and a bowl full of mush, and a quiet old lady was whispering, "Hush." Good night, moon. Good night, moon. Good night, cow jumping over the moon. Good night, light and the red balloon. Good night, bears. Good night, cheers. Good night, kittens, and good night, mittens. Good night, clocks, and good night, socks. Good night, little house, and good night, little mouse. Good night, comb, and good night, brush. Good night, nobody, and good night, mush. And good night to the old lady whispering, "Hush." Good night, stars. Good night, air. Good night, noises everywhere. The end. That was Good Night, Moon. And you know, reading to your baby is such a special, special thing to do. Special moments of connecting, of helping your baby to calm, of relaxing, and giving your baby the opportunity to hear language and develop language skills so that he or she can grow into that full-fledged, wonderful individual that he or she was created to be. Now, this is your time to show and tell. What have you experienced so far in your baby's life? Share with us some of your toys that you've gotten, some of the things that your baby likes to interact with. Post them on my Facebook page so we can see them. You know, I mentioned toys just a minute ago, and I wanted to go back to that because we did not buy toys as you would think, the traditional toys. All our toys that we bought for our baby were basically educational toys. Apart from the fact that eventually when he became of a certain age, he was obsessed with cars. And if you have boys, you probably are going to experience that. You know, cars and trucks. He knew all the different types of trucks and cars, you know, except for those that we bought quite a few cars and trucks. Most of the toys that we bought for our baby was all educationally based. If we did the car set, it was a way for him to figure out how to set it up so that he can use it, you know, how to put the batteries in. And again, this is later on as your baby gets older. When we did the train tracks, it was a way for him to develop those fine motor skills, holding on to the pieces and connecting them so that the train track could work. So start thinking of educational toys that you can get for your baby. Educational. Don't just buy toys that would just sit there in the corner and just, play, and it's just play. Have a combination of play and education. Always look for opportunities. Always look for opportunities where you can educate your child and help him in the process, help her in the process of growing and developing. Oh, where's my powder? Oh, here, it's right here. Yes, of growing and developing. So today, this is Dr. Yonette. We're looking at our week in review, checking in on those milestones that you have journaled, and you've seen your baby achieve over the last week, and sharing with us so that we can celebrate with you as you raise your child into a successful, purposeful adult. Remember, reading is essential. Reading is like feeding. Reading is like feeding your baby. You know how your baby has to eat and you have been breastfeeding? It's also essential for you to read to your baby. If you're not reading and baby is not hearing language, you run the risk of having your baby not develop those language skills that he or she needs to succeed in life. So make sure you are reading every day, morning and evening, to your baby so that he or she can understand language and participate in it to the fullest. I hope you had a great week and our time together was purposeful and rewarding. Next week, remember next week's Thursday, I'm going to start our first baby play week with moms and dads and baby. We're going to have a baby play session. I invite you to be there at 7 a.m. Invite your friends who have babies and let them join us so that together we can help move baby forward in his or her experiences. This is Dr. Yonette coming to you this morning with another talk about your baby. First, we talked about the week in review, the fine motor, gross motor, social emotional, language, communication, sensory, vision, and visual skills. And then we did some show and tell this morning. I look forward to hearing from you and seeing all the awesome things that your baby has been doing. Have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday.